So we're almost done with this guy. We just have a few pieces remaining, and it should be pretty easy to do. By now, you really shouldn't have any questions as to how to approach this. Hopefully everything's been pretty self-explanatory up to this point. But we'll just go ahead and finish this out, and I guess we can just do it like that. Turn off ignore back facing. So again, this is very easy because of the approach that we took by unwrapping a little bit and then hiding that part of the mesh. So let's think that we will do cylinder, and let's okay, and it's looking pretty good to me. Let's rotate the green line to the back. Okay, so there it is. Alright, let's take a look, see. Let's just go ahead and move that down. And we'll just fix what we can. Okay, I can see. So I'm gonna just go ahead and grab these guys and detach, because they need to be on this side. Alright, so we'll leave that there. And let's just come in here and fix. Pretty easy. But as you can see, it's definitely tedious, and we probably could have did a relax on this, but I just felt like it could have gone either way as far as, being useful or not being useful. I just assumed to take this approach just to ensure it. Okay, so okay, those are all welded. Let's get these guys. the last one. Okay. So now let's see what kind of damage we did. Okay, so this is going to be the front part here. Okay, that's the front, that's the you know what, now that I have it unwrapped correctly, ooh, I can tell that it's not perfectly even, one, just by looking at it, but I can also see that here's the seam, which means that these guys, this whole polygon right here is all these. Yep, they need to be on this side. So again, we detached those edge verts. I can now move this whole thing around. And this guy, so I'm going to undo. Okay, and just try to make sure we get all of those. And I'm just going to move these like really close to where they're going to go. Okay, so that's pretty even. I mean, it definitely looks good around. We just got some issues in here, and you have to ask yourself how big of an issue do you want this to be, because his belly is actually going to be hanging over this. But I'm just going to real quick relax them just to see. And it looks good everywhere but here. And that's really kind of weird. Why it would look good everywhere but that corner. I'm not really sure about that. It's weird. What would that be? Over here? Over here. This is the front, so... Oh, I can see right there. These guys are... So here's something that we could do. Looking at this side looks to be really well laid out. This side over here is not. So I'm just gonna try to eyeball that a little bit. Yeah, pretty good. This guy right here. Alright. What we could do, if we really wanted to, since this whole side looks good, I'm pretty happy with the way those are laid out. We could do select all these, or it's actually reverse, and detach. And then I will select these guys and then right click, freeze. Now we can take this and flip it. And put them exactly where the other ones are, which, as you know from the other videos, really wouldn't be a terrible idea, especially if we wanted to make sure that both sides of the belt were containing the same texture. But we might want to maintain some asymmetrical aspects to the texture. So the only thing I'm doing is just unifying the layout, because I still want to have the ability to have one side of the belt look a little different than the other. And these were pretty close. It all has to deal with how you are laying out those vertices, how they are laid out when you start to relax them. Wow. Okay, those are the same. Okay, so now we can take these guys, flip them back. As you can see, they're laid out uniformly. And let's unfreeze all. And all I'm going to do here is just select all these and then do the ununiform scale like so. Bring these guys all in. Let's see. And I really don't even need to do this, but and voila. So there's our belt. Okay. Almost done. This one will be pretty self-explanatory here. Once we do one of these, we'll entrust you to do the last half. So I'm just going to go ahead and unwrap the belt. And And I'm just going and selecting these polygons first. Oh. Those actually are not part. Looks like I'm missing an entire polygon right there. Might have been something that I selected from before and hid. Good thing is we're probably really not going to see that too much. So, alright, so I have the whole thing selected. Now if I go into Edge and turn this off, figure out how I want to unwrap it. And I think what I'm going to do here, first thing I'm going to do is turn that off. Yeah, I either deleted or hid that polygon. Well, since I'm the way I guess is I'm probably not gonna see the inside here too much. We actually might be okay if we came in here and got rid of all these faces. And we obviously don't need to worry about that too much. Okay, so we have just the front part. And I think cylindrical will probably work out pretty good again. So let's put our checkerboard back on. Fit. And let's see what would work. It's not like that's terrible. Actually, might be a bad place to start with it, so yeah, that's not bad for a starting point. Cool thing is too that I can see, here's the front and how it wraps around, so that will actually be pretty good, the texture. The only thing we have to do is unfold these guys a little bit. So okay, I know that we do have a little bit of a lip. So I'll just be sure that I address that. And as you can see, it's not too hard to adjust. That's why we just kind of take a guess on cylindrical, box, planar, something, see which way the checkerboard pattern seems to lay out the best, and the quickest way first, because really is of no consequence to come in here and pull out a couple of vertices. Let's see. how that looks. It's pretty even to me. Little stretching right there. Okay, I can see this is a pretty good polygon face, and I'm not really giving enough resolution to it, so I'll just make that adjustment. Pull those out just a little bit, give them a little more resolution. That would be very easy to paint on. So we will call that guy done. Let's move this down here, and I'm going to go ahead and just get this real quick. Okay, do the same thing. Bit. Good enough. And since this is the underside of it, I'm not really gonna worry with it too much. I think that's pretty much wrap that up. So let's come in here. I'll grab all those. And I'll go ahead and unwrap these dudes real quick. And let's see. So I'm going to go select element, which will select all of that one. And if I go into edge, I'll actually come into edit seams, and I'm just gonna pick these guys like this. Those are gonna be the seams that this guy is gonna pelt from, so that when I go back to face, do pelt, best align, rotate that just a little bit, edit pelt, okay, I can see it's pulling across itself, so I'm gonna mirror those stretcher, and yeah, that's working better. Just move that off, scale it down, let's relax. Okay, that did not work out too well for us. So I'm just going to say that that's good enough right there. Okay. Select element. Go into edge mode. Edit seams. And we'll just. You don't even need to hold control for this. Face. Pelt. Best align. Edit. Just pulling through itself, so mirror. And let's see. Okay, good enough. Turn that off. Okay. I'm just cruising right along now. So the last thing are these guys. And I think what would work best is if we approach it from a top and bottom perspective. So select all those. So you see, I left my ignore back facing on, so I didn't have to worry with it. Come on. Okay. And I'm starting to think I don't even want to include the sides, but I'll do it anyway. Whatever. Can't hurt to try. See what it looks like. I hate it when it does that. It's getting annoying. Okay. Alright. I think that's good enough for half of it. And I'm just going to do a quick planar map on it. And let's take a look, see. Let's pull that off. Alright. Now I can take a look in here and see if there's going to be some issues, which the only thing I see is that right there. Okay. I'm not even really worried with that one too much. These are the sides. So I'll just if I really wanted to, I could just straight out separate them, since they are separate objects, but this is buried under the other one. So you can actually separate them like that. Pull that one away. Pull that one away. And of course, since these two pieces here are essentially identical, we could put them right on top of each other. But maybe I would want to texture them differently. I'm not really sure. Not really sure how I would want to approach that at the moment. And let's see. I don't really see any major issues. Other than these guys probably getting a little more texture space than they need, but I think that's pretty good. So it should be all of those. There shouldn't be anything left. Doesn't look like there is, so quick planar map. Okay, and I know that this is the underside of that guy, which is basically the exact same. and very rarely probably going to be seen. So we probably could just line them right up. And this is the bottom. And since I can see these guys here are not connected, that can mean only one thing. That there are some polygons that I missed. And there they are. So I'll just do the same thing. Just really quick fixes. Okay. And just quick fixes here. Okay. So I would make the decision if I was going to actually texture these guys all at one. But I think that what I'm going to do is actually leave them separate. Just gonna try to get the scale down a little bit more the way it should be. And then what I would do is I would leave that as the top and the bottom, and then when I get around to doing the other side, actually place these UVs right on top of these. And I can see right there we missed some vertices, two faces actually, and they are the inside polygons. And that's going to be easy. Just do a quick planar edit. I know that they belong up here. As you see, it's a pretty easy fix. Okay, so this vertex is here, that one's there. That one's there, that one's there. Flip them, and voila. So all that's left for you to do is this one and the inside of the eyelids, which you should be able to figure out on your own. So in the next video we'll actually take a look at what we're going to do with all these coordinates now that we have the whole character unwrapped. And that'll be the last video in this series before we move on to actually paint the texture on the character. So go ahead and finish up these last couple pieces. Don't even worry about the eyes. They're separate. They're not a part of the character at the moment, so we just leave those alone. Just do this piece and the last little bit of his eyelids. And I'll see you next time.